Alrighty guys, what's going on everybody? Welcome back here to another live stream, my friends. We are here doing another update here on Hurricane Cracker Barrel. It's the official name I've given it. What's up everybody? Hope everyone is doing well out there. Let's go ahead and hop on over here to the main scene. This is a live look here at the infrared view of Hurricane Beryl. We are seeing the eye has been completely gone, but it's probably going to come back here soon. You can kind of see there where the eye was. The eye is currently kind of missing at the moment, but it is going to likely come back here soon. We are starting to battle a lot of wind shear on the left-hand side of the storm here. It's starting to have a bit of an issue regarding stronger winds. But overall, the storm is, she's still kicking, man. She really is. Still got a lot of convection on the on really pretty much all sides here. You can actually see here overall that we do have ourselves a bit of that convection starting to work its way out there onto the western side of the eye wall. But like I said, yeah, current updates, y'all. The storm is still a Category 4 storm. We're still talking sustained winds here of 150 miles per hour. Let me go bring up the NHC here for y'all. I do need to update something. So let's hop on over here and let me update the overall verdict here. So like I was saying regarding its pressure and its wind and stuff like that, pressure's down to 943. Still the same as it was earlier update. But we did lose, let's see, we did lose a little bit of the winds out there, but she still is a Category 4, kind of a, still kind of a mid-upper Cat 4. She's still definitely quite a strong storm here. So here's the latest coming in from the Hurricane Center here. They finally issued tropical storm watches out there, as well as hurricane watches here for the Yucatan Peninsula. So we finally do got those watches that are in place out there. So like I was mentioning, obviously for the Yucatan, make sure that you guys are ready to go. Make sure you guys are, starting to get ready. We are expecting the landfall process to begin out there in the Yucatan Peninsula, right there around essentially for probably late Thursday into early Friday overall. Pete says, good evening, Andrew. Thanks for keeping an eye on this memorable weather event. You're very welcome, Pete. No problem. Glad to be here, man. Cody says, saying it's literally taking shear on, it's handling it. I wouldn't say it's handling it. She's struggling because the eye is gone. But it's probably going to come back here soon. Let's see here. I've heard the storm is doing a good job fighting off the wind shear, says Jamie. It's holding in. It's holding in there. Like I said, definitely not as well established as it once was. Like I said, it is weakening. It is still obviously getting a little bit weaker as we are progressing still continuously to the west-northwest here at around 22 miles an hour. Yep, so we're moving west-northwest at 22. Like I said, latest infrared satellite imagery. There's the eye right there. It's not fully fully as formed as it was previously. Like I said, the storm is starting to battle a little bit of wind shear. It's not liking it, but it's still powering through. As you can see, we do have some pretty strong convection still wrapping around the eye wall there. So it's trying, it's fighting. It sure is. She's still very strong though. Like I said, don't let the dissipation of the eye really. Like I said, no, don't let it bring you down on the storm here, because it's still sustained at 150 with gusts up to 190 still currently. So that's that. Let's see here. Devin says, hello, Andrew. You're doing great job. Excellent coverage. Thank you. Saying, what is the next hurricane, and how many hurricanes do I think will happen this month as the weather gets hotter? Obviously the peak hurricane seasons is for the first, I think the beginning of the second week of September. So regarding this month, we're still kind of climbing up the ladder here, regarding the season. We could have a couple hurricanes this month here. But the activity is probably going to really start picking off here. I mean, shoot, it could be, kicking off there and basically late July going through August. I think August and September are going to be very active months with the tropics for sure. That I really do believe. But yeah, let's go and hop on back over here to the Hurricane Center. So like I said, here's the latest verdict on things. We're starting to get those tropical storm force winds down there in Dominican Republic and out there by Haiti. We still got those hurricane watches there just in case, but as of now, they are still watches. They are not warnings for southern Haiti. So yeah, southern Haiti coast out there as hurricane watches. So the way it's looking, Jamaica, it seems quite possible that we could have a direct landfall with the eye of the storm. We're still watching. Honestly, I still think it might be a little bit more probable that it just kind of hugs the southern coast, but either or is still a possibility out of that. So we're expecting the worst conditions to be there for the early afternoon tomorrow out there in Jamaica. Still as a Category 3 storm. So definitely is going to still be a really nasty storm, a really, really strong storm here overall. Then, of course, as we work our way into essentially what is the morning of Thursday, whenever it comes to Thursday morning, it's going to be really affecting the Cayman Islands. At this point in time, it'll be downgraded to a Category 2 with sustained winds around 110 miles an hour with gusts up to 130 for the morning of Thursday, as it's right up on the Cayman Islands. Then we continue our way into the afternoon here for right around 2 p.m. on Thursday. Still talking Category 2 storm here, weak Category 2 storm with sustained winds of 100 miles an hour and gusts up to 120. Then, like I said, as we roll into the morning of Friday, 2 a.m. for Friday, we're going to be seeing ourselves landfall happening again out there in the Yucatan Peninsula, the eastern Yucatan. All the whole eastern Yucatan, for the most part, is under a hurricane watch, which is there in the pink, saying that hurricane conditions are possible down in time, so monitor the system closely. We do have a little bit of tropical storm watches under there as well. So yeah, so really for like I said, the eastern Yucatan, just the Yucatan in general, definitely watch out there for this. As we approach our way into the afternoon of Friday, this thing will be downgraded to a tropical storm. Now here's where things get a little interesting, folks. Let's go ahead and hop on back over here. So obviously, like I said, making landfall in the Yucatan as a Cat 1, right around sustained winds of 85. Still not a low end Cat 1, kind of a mid. Kind of mid-upper end Category 1 storm still at this point in time as it rolls its way into the eastern side of the Yucatan Peninsula there for 2 a.m. on Friday. So then it'll roll inland. Obviously, as it's rolling over the land, it's going to weaken a bit. And once again, as we approach our way into 2 p.m. for Friday, for the afternoon, it is going to be almost its way out of the Yucatan at this point. It'll be a tropical storm, kind of an upper-level tropical storm, sustained winds of 65, gusting up to 75 mile per hour winds out there. So we're still gusting to hurricane force, but we're sustained at upper-level tropical storm force at that time. So then we work our way over into 2 p.m. on Saturday. Now remember, the winds beforehand, as it rolls off the Yucatan, are 65. As we roll our way into 2 p.m. for Saturday, you notice how it goes up to 70. It's actually picked up a little bit of strength. So sustained winds here of 70 miles an hour with gusts up to 85 overall. Seems to be possible there. This is for 2 p.m. on the 6th overall. Then, of course, as we work our way over into 2 p.m. for Sunday, we're talking potential landfall either in southern Texas or into the eastern coast of Mexico. And upon landfall, as of now, the Hurricane Center has the cone showing 70 mile per hour sustained winds with max gusts up to 85. Now, there is a good possibility that the storm might be able to re-achieve hurricane status as it approaches out there towards either eastern Texas or coastal Mexico. Once again, I still want these areas to be watching the storm closely, but there is a possibility it'll likely be an upper-level tropical storm, if not a lower-level Category 1 hurricane at that point in time. So that's the overall verdict there. So anyway, so that's the latest cone. That's what we're saying there with everything going on. Let's go ahead and hop you guys over here to the rainfall potential out of the storm here. I'm going to go ahead and bring y'all over to this point of view. So this is not really updated since yesterday. or sorry, since early this morning. Early this morning, almost 24 hours ago. It'll be in 7 hours. It'll be 24 hours ago. This thing was updated, so it was updated at 09 UTC. It is currently 02 UTC of the following day. So obviously, this is a little bit outdated, but this is the latest and greatest rainfall forecast out there. When it comes to it, obviously, Jamaica, the southern and eastern coasts of Jamaica is going to experience some pretty high-end amounts of rain here. We're likely going to see localized amounts, probably over a foot out there. As of the latest update, it does seem like we are going to be seeing potential rainfall up to a foot in the eastern sides of Jamaica. Overall, obviously, the closer the eye makes approach to Jamaica, near that eye wall, there's some real intense precipitation. So there's going to be a lot of heavy rain over there in general. So just keep that in mind, my friend. So that's what's going on there. It'll continue out by the Cayman Islands, where we could pick up anywhere from 2 to 4 inches or 50 to 100 millimeters of rainfall, being a possibility out there. So still a good amount of rain possible near the Cayman Islands and Jamaica for sure. That's something we'll definitely need to watch out for. Also, like I said, southern Haiti could achieve, possibly some localized amounts of 12 plus as well. So, pretty good amount of rain overall. But like I said, the storm's moving fairly quickly. It's not really moving super fast. Not really moving super slow, which is good. Obviously, a slow-moving storm would be more of a concern for flooding overall. But as of now, I'm happy to say that, for the thing being here, the storm is moving fairly quickly west-northwest at 22 miles an hour. Let's see here. Just talked to a friend in Jamaica. They are all prepared. I'm glad to hear that, my friend. Glad to hear that. Yeah, like I said, if you're in Jamaica, you better have your stuff ready soon, very, very soon, because here, not tonight, but tomorrow morning, we're going to start to have those, tomorrow morning, we're going to start to have that, those tropical storm winds start to roll in, and then obviously the hurricane winds to follow. Once again, the heaviest impacts for Jamaica is going to be right there for the early afternoon. Right there around afternoon, it's going to be the heaviest impacts there for Jamaica overall for tomorrow. So, and those effects are going to be lasting all throughout the evening as well. So just make sure that you guys are ready out there in Jamaica. This will actually weaken the storm quite a bit overall. This will actually weaken that storm quite a bit. As it does, roll over the hills and the mountain ranges of Jamaica, it'll cause a little bit of an issue for the storm. But like I said, Jamaica, make sure you're just ready by tonight. By midnight, I want you guys to be ready. Now, whenever it comes to it here, we do have ourselves the Cayman Islands here included in the hurricane warnings. The impacts are going to be a little bit later for the Cayman Islands here. You're probably going to start to feel it, by tomorrow evening is probably when you're going to start to really feel that. The heaviest effects are going to be pretty much felt here for, let's see here. So tomorrow is when, most of the effects are going to be really felt there for Thursday morning out there in the Cayman Islands. It's going to be nighttime whenever you guys get the worst out here. The good news, obviously it's not good news, but, it will be during the daytime for impacts in Jamaica. So it'll be daylight hours whenever Jamaica's getting the worst, so you can at least see a little better out there. But for the Cayman Islands, not so much. It's going to be dark outside, too, making it a little bit difficult to kind of see what's going on. So just wanted to mention that. And, of course, like I mentioned, the eastern Yucatan Peninsula, we do have hurricane watches in place, where hurricane conditions down in time are possible, followed by a tropical storm watch here to the south of that. Okay, so just a bit of a heads up there for you guys. But once again, hurricane warnings in red, tropical storm warnings in the blue for portions of the southern coast of Dominican Republic from the central and western side of the island. Obviously, southern Haiti as well is included there inside of that tropical storm warning. Now, they actually have a hurricane watch in effect there, too. If you look at that that pink color, which is also visible there on the eastern Yucatan Peninsula, that is hurricane watches, basically saying that hurricane conditions down in time is possible. So just keep an eye out there for that. So yeah, hurricane conditions possible out there in southern Haiti. Obviously, hurricane conditions down in time is possible for the Yucatan Peninsula. These will likely be upgraded to warnings. These will probably not, but we'll continue watching. Obviously, hurricane watch just means, pay attention for potential hurricane conditions down in time. If it's upgraded to a warning, it means that hurricane conditions is expected. But of course, across the watch area, it's saying that it's possible. So we'll just have to monitor this as we get a little bit closer to some of these regions like Haiti. But like I already mentioned, the current estimated wind field is already over Dominican Republic on the far western southern side of the coast there. As well as starting to roll into Haiti. That's where the tropical storm force winds are starting to get to. Now, once again, hopping back over here to the cone regarding the timing. Like I said, this is the latest information here. We're expecting the heaviest impacts in Jamaica to be right there for the afternoon for tomorrow. So obviously we're going to start to really feel that tomorrow morning across Jamaica. The later we get into the morning, the little bit more it's going to pick up a bit. And as we approach into the afternoon, that's when you're going to start to feel the worst of the storm overall. So that'll continue for several hours into the evening. And as we kind of roll out for tomorrow evening, things will start to improve out there for Jamaica. However, while they're improving in Jamaica, they'll start to worsen in the Cayman Islands here. So right around the morning of Thursday, like I said, early Thursday, that's whenever we're going to probably feel some of the worst effects out there in the Cayman Islands overall. Then, of course, 2 p.m. for Thursday, it'll start to get a little bit better as it starts getting a little bit more closer towards the Yucatan Peninsula. And obviously, landfall for the Yucatan is going to happen pretty early at nighttime, 2 o'clock in the morning on Friday, overall, the 5th. Which will continue into the afternoon. And as we approach our way into kind of the mid-afternoon here, before evening for Friday, the storm should be starting to track its way into the southern Gulf. And like I said, what happens there is still a little bit unknown, but it does look like there could be some landfall potential either in southern Texas or the portions of the central or northern coast of eastern Mexico. It does seem to be a possibility overall. So that is the verdict, with the latest Hurricane Center outlook and everything like that. So, like I said, once again, the storm is currently sustained at 150 miles an hour, which is upper level, Category 4 still. Movement is west-northwest at 22 miles per hour. So, like I said, it's moving pretty quick. It is indeed moving fairly quickly. So let's go ahead and hop on over here to the models. I'm sure y'all are probably wondering what the latest models have to show us here. So let's go ahead and jump on into that here. We're going to go ahead and hop over to the HWRF model. This is the 18 Zulu run. This just came out, a little bit ago. This is, not really this is the latest run we got here. So obviously we work our way down in time here for tomorrow morning. Obviously, we're already starting to feel some of those bands starting to roll its way into Haiti as well as the Dominican Republic. We're starting to feel some of those bands rolling through. We're going to really start to get some of those bands heading in there pretty early. Right around the crack of dawn out there towards eastern Jamaica is probably when we're going to start to see some of those bands, according to this model overall. Now, I want you to note, the HWRF model kind of pulls a worst-case scenario here. It actually shows the storm, kind of sustaining strength a little bit out there. And it actually, unfortunately, has this thing making a direct landfall into Jamaica overall. So, at this point in time, like I said, this is right around 2 o'clock or so. It seems like, this is 5 p.m., so I think you guys are behind me. So if somebody in Jamaica could correct me if I'm wrong, I think the current time for you guys right now is 9:20 p.m. If I am correct, let me know, because I think you guys are an hour behind Florida's time where I'm at, Eastern time. So this would be happening, right around 1 o'clock for you guys on this frame. This would be happening right around 4 o'clock for you guys on this frame, if that's right. And this model really does show some really nasty effects. I mean, those coastal areas are gonna, on the southern side, are gonna get absolutely slammed. And like I said, if even possible, you could evacuate to more of the central part of Jamaica. I would highly advise it. Do that as soon as possible. Don't wait till tomorrow. If you can do such, I would recommend it. Yeah, you don't want to be on the coast during a storm like this. There's going to be some really nasty storm surge working its way up into that little channel there. that's just going to be catastrophic conditions out in those regions there. So definitely watch out for that. Even if it just takes a southern approach, those winds are still likely going to reach these little areas down here on the southern coast of Jamaica. Still going to be quite a nasty storm, regardless if it makes a direct landfall or not. But this model does. Now, as we pull off, here's the thing. So as we pull off of Jamaica, we start to approach the Cayman Islands here, basically, like I was saying, for the morning of July 4th. We're going to have some of the heaviest effects right around, or they're going to start to lighten up, I should say. The heaviest effects are going to start to lighten up right as the sun comes up. Now, here's the thing. This is interesting here. This model, the HWRF, the one we're looking at right now, this one actually has it strengthening again as it pulls away from the Cayman Islands. So the reason that this model is saying that it's going to start strengthening, which I honestly kind of think that's a possibility, is because right now the reason it's weakening is because of strong winds, strong upper level winds that's not a part of the system, but it's kind of hitting the storm and disorganizing it. So that's what's causing the storm to weaken right now. Now, as it passes through the Cayman Islands here, that winds are going to weaken. Those winds are going to go away pretty much, which might put the storm back on track for possible strengthening just before it hits obviously just before it hits the Yucatan. Now, do I expect it to be this strong? 967 millibar low? No, I don't think it's going to be that strong. But a little bit of strengthening in general, I think, theoretically could be a possibility as it passes through the Cayman Islands. Once again, we're expecting an early 5th landfall here for the Yucatan Peninsula. This model has it scraping that northern edge, rapidly weakening as, it's taken away from its waters. Then it rolls back on to the warm waters here for basically the evening of the 5th. Now, what happens here is still unknown, but this model has this thing once again rapidly picking itself up, and this model in particular has it going there towards Texas coast overall. Now, will it be this strong and will it be here? We don't know. So, like I said, take this model lightly. Don't freak out based off of this. This is still likely not going to be 100% right. But I just want to go ahead and show you. So that's what the HWRF model shows. So it has hitting pretty much, riding the coast there of Jamaica, pretty much making landfall over you guys, going right there just to the south of the Cayman Islands. You guys still getting hurricane force winds, then slamming up there towards the Yucatan, then strengthening back into a pretty strong hurricane as it rolls its way into the Western Gulf here. So moving on, we're going to look at the HMON model. Like I said, it's good to compare models. You can't just trust one of the models because you can't do that. This model down in time, the HMON, this one's starting to agree with the HWRF model a little bit. This one's actually showing it scraping the southern side of Jamaica. So, like I said, for my folks out there in South Jamaica, this model these two models we just looked at are not really like in your area right now. So they are showing the landfall being somewhere on the southern side of Jamaica. So 2 out of 2 models so far does show a landfall. As it pulls away from you guys in Jamaica, and as it approaches the Cayman Islands, it does rapidly weaken. And this model, shows maybe some signs of a little bit of strengthening. As you can see, 988 millibars. As we get a little closer, it has gets down to 970s for a little bit. Kind of oscillates between lower 980s and upper 970s before making landfall once again for the morning of the 5th. Then it tracks its way into the Gulf, and as you notice, this is not as strong of a storm as the other HWRF model showed. But the pressure does get back down into the upper 970s, low 980s. As you notice, not only is this a weaker system from this model, but it's also a lot further south. The other model had it way up here. So I personally do believe that this storm, as of now, will likely impact either eastern coastal Mexico or eastern southern Texas as a hurricane. I think it's possible. I do. And the models do agree on that as well to an extent. So We'll have to see. I really just want to watch and see how it interacts as it rolls over the Yucatan. That's a big turning point. If it holds together more than we think, then it might have a better shot at being a little stronger as it hits the either Mexico or Texas. But if it becomes a little bit more dismantled, a little bit more unorganized than what we think, then there's a chance it could be a little weaker, which is good. So we'll have to just kind of wait. This is a big turning point right here. Once it rolls past the Yucatan, and we'll learn a lot more about that system overall. But yeah, that's it. That's what the HMON. We got a few other models we can look at real quickly. So far, 2 out of 2 models do show landfall in Jamaica. Let's see here. Moving on to HAFS-A. This is another model here. So as we approach our way towards Jamaica, it's, honestly, at this point in time, y'all, it seems like this thing is going to be riding the coast regardless of southern Jamaica. As we approach, for tomorrow afternoon, it's going to be some of the heaviest. You guys are going to feel it tomorrow afternoon. The central low is just off the coast of you guys. I mean, look at that. It's literally right off the coast of y'all. You might even be in that inner eye wall there. So, according to this model here, it kind of agrees. As it pulls away from you, it actually, and as it rolls its way into those Western Caribbean waters, the model does have maybe a little bit of strengthening happening. Before approaching the Yucatan Peninsula for the early 5th. As it rolls over, it kind of it kind of downgrades into a tropical storm there. But then as it continues to going into the Gulf waters, according to this model as well, it actually has it potentially getting back into hurricane pressure. So, like I said, 3 out of 3 models do show this storm here, turning into a potential hurricane after being downgraded from downgraded to a tropical storm. It could redevelop into a hurricane overall. So that's that. With all that said and done, yeah, this model doesn't really show a direct landfall, but it's close. So 2 out of 3 models do show a direct landfall in Jamaica. Let's pull up HAFS-B. This model overall has the system. Here, let's see. We got a new. This is the latest run here. So this model does have a direct landfall over Jamaica. Kind of worst case scenario, actually. This one has the pressure still very low, 940s. As it hits eastern Jamaica. I don't think it'll be this strong of a cyclone. It'll probably be right around Category 3, maybe upper Cat 3 by the time it hits you guys out there in Jamaica. But this model does support it, so that's 3 out of 4 models that does. This one also has it going right over the Cayman Islands, basically, the eye wall. So some of those nasty conditions. It does show a little bit of strengthening, actually, so 986 going down to the 970s, lower 970s right there at point at landfall in the eastern Yucatan. Weakens down the tropical storm force, and then, like all the other models suggest, has it strengthening back into a hurricane. So, y'all, don't be surprised if this thing becomes a hurricane again in the Gulf. I seriously think that's a real possibility. Models are talking about it. So, yeah, once again, 3 out of 4 models do suggest that. And we have 2 other ones we can look at real quickly. These are lower resolution model runs. So, obviously, this one also has a direct landfall in Jamaica. So, what does that make? 4 out of 5 models showing a direct landfall. According to this model, it might it might strengthen a little bit as it approaches the Yucatan. The GFS model has this thing, becoming a hurricane again as it approaches either southern Texas or northeastern coastal Mexico overall. So 4 out of 5 or? Yeah, I think that's 4 out of 5 models that do show a direct landfall over like Jamaica and this thing becoming a hurricane again. Lastly, is the European ECMWF model. This one overall, let's hop down to overall here. Okay, so yep, Euro does show a direct landfall. So at this point in time, y'all, it kind of seems quite possible that we could have a direct landfall on Jamaica. It seems like the models might be picking up on that a little bit more. So a direct landfall seems more and more likely. This thing is going to be riding the southern coast regardless. So it is definitely going to be very, very effective out there. It's been going more west over the past 4 hours, says Jamie. Yeah, it actually has. I remember being just north of that cone. Now it's kind of crossing to that southern side. But she's still in the cone. But yeah, the model projections, they continue to have this thing going, like most of the models have it go right over Jamaica. So let's go ahead and hop on over here to the spaghetti models. Yeah, that's something I want to look at with y'all. We want to take a look at these spaghetti models. Okay, so this is actually really interesting. So the spaghetti models have this thing just riding to the south of you guys. Spaghetti models has that storm just riding just to the south of y'all, if not a landfall. It seems like, seems about half of the models have this thing hitting Texas coast, half of them up in northeastern, Mexico's coast. So obviously there's still a little bit of disagreement in the long range of things, but at least in the short range, it does seem like most of the models do agree on this thing. Just not really digging its way into Jamaica, but it does have it just right on the edge of you guys. So it'll definitely be really, really powerful regardless. Will Miami feel the hurricane? No. This is really far away from anywhere in Florida. This will not cause any problem for Florida in general. So you can see, Miami is all the way up here. Miami's good. This is really far away from the storm. Plus you have Cuba, and Cuba's mountains blocking you from anything. So no. Florida will be more than fine with this storm rolling through. Here's intensity guidance based off of the models here. Obviously the models are gonna, they are showing rapid weakening. We are expecting this storm to weaken due to those upper level winds that's just basically disrupting the storm structure. It kind of picks up like I was talking about. So obviously it weakens, then it kind of sustains itself, maybe strengthens a little bit. You see a little bump there before weakening as it hits the Yucatan Peninsula, and then kind of averaging out there. So we'll see. Some models have this thing barely strengthening at all or weakening at all, but when it comes to it though, it will definitely likely get into tropical storm status as it crosses back into the Gulf, and I think it will become a hurricane again, Cat 1 at least, as it approaches into the western Gulf of Mexico. So. Like I said, right now the Hurricane Center, they have it pretty close actually. So to be classified as a hurricane, you have to have sustained winds of 75 miles an hour or more. In this case here, we are talking sustained winds of 70 miles an hour out there towards the the south side of the Gulf of Mexico or the western side. 70 sustained right here for the afternoon of the 7th. So. As we work our way down in time, we're going to be right on borderline upper tropical storm force or hurricane. But I think it will. I think it will become a hurricane again once it crosses back into the Gulf waters overall, just based off of models and just conditions that are actually there. It just seems like it's very likely that we're going to have a scenario like that. So. Another thing I want to show you is, like I said, all that wind shear. The current storm right now, like I said, it's struggling a little bit. We've lost the eye of the storm. It'll probably peek back through here soon, but we obviously have lost the. Like I said, we've obviously lost the. Let's see here. Yeah, so we've obviously lost the eye of the storm there. Let me go ahead and bring you guys over here to the shear. Like I was mentioning, the storm is having a little bit of a problem here as it's starting to combat some wind shear. At the moment, like I said, it's not in its heaviest shear yet. It still has yet to be in its heaviest shear. So while it still looks okay, remember it's still not in the heavy stuff right now. So there's the eye. That's the center of the storm right here. You guys can actually see here. And as we approach our way to the west, as we get near Jamaica. Right as we go over Jamaica, there is going to be some strong northeasterly wind shear that is going to allow for that storm to weaken, destabilize a bit, which is good news for not only the people in Jamaica, but also for the people towards the Yucatan, as well as the Cayman Islands, because that's going to help weaken the storm as it rolls through your guys' territory. It's still set to be a very strong hurricane, though, at that point in time, for both the Cayman Islands as well as the, obviously, Jamaica for you guys out there. Now, if you look closely, as we approach our way into these waters, just before reaching the Yucatan, it seems like the wind shear is going to be a little bit weaker, which that will allow actually for the potential of either sustainability of the storm, so it kind of keeps its strength, or possibly strengthening, where it picks up a little bit of speed. So, we'll have to see how this thing just handles it. But like I mentioned right now, while some of you guys think it's doing good right now, let me tell you this: it's struggling because the eye's gone. For one, it might be trying to do a replacement eye wall cycle, which there's not as much lightning as there once was in the eye wall, which is showing that it's fighting. Not to mention the eye is completely gone here with the latest scans. But like I also mentioned, the storm is right here. The heaviest wind shear is in here, so it's still not quite there yet. It's still gonna get worse on the storm. So that is an issue. That is going to be a big issue for the storm here, and that's going to allow it to rapidly weaken as it approaches you guys. So, anyways, that is the latest here with everything going on, y'all. Like I mentioned, this is basically where we stand with things overall. Let's see here. I'm just kind of looking if I can use any more of this stuff with you guys here. Yeah, a lot of it, like I said, is that wind shear is going to be a big problem for y'all overall. Yeah, this is mostly just stuff we basically look at. Yeah, here's the satellite imagery on it. But we've already picked up on it. Yeah, look at that guy. Wow, quite a storm though, man. Quite a storm it's been. But yeah, you can see right now we're actually starting to get some of those bands impacting portions out there in southern Dominican Republic. So we're starting to get some of those bands reaching you guys out there overall. Let's see here. You're welcome, David. No problem, man. No problem at all. But anyways, y'all. Well, that's gonna go ahead and wrap up this update. Just want to go ahead and give y'all a little bit of an evening update. Seems like y'all are. Seems like you guys are doing all right out there. Like I said, I hope you guys are prepared for it tonight. We'll do some coverage tomorrow for you guys. We'll definitely be covering the live landfall and stuff like that out there in Jamaica. So we'll be live as soon as I get up, which hopefully will be just before it reaches you guys. Which, yeah, like I said, we're expecting the landfall to be. Oh, sorry, wrong model. We're expecting that landfall or the worst conditions to start rolling in by late morning. So, I'll probably be live by noon or 11 for you guys. Yeah, noon or 11 for y'all is probably when I'll be live for you guys overall with everything. But yeah, the worst of it's going to be actually... I might even be live a little later than that. I kind of want to be there for the worst of it. So, maybe early afternoon. Late morning. Yeah, just whenever I get up, I'll schedule the stream and we'll get going. Okay? Alrighty, guys. Once again, thanks for joining. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your night. And stay safe out there, my friends. And we'll catch y'all later on. Alright, see you later, guys. Thanks for joining. And we'll see ya tomorrow.